Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is talk to you all about how to write a food truck business plan. Specifically, what I want to do is drill down on the competitive advantages section of a food truck business plan. So the way the video is going to work out is, first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of background about me, who I am, what I do, and why I do it. From that point in time, we're then going to talk about competitive advantages for a food truck. What is a competitive advantage? Why is it important? Some tips and tricks about competitive advantages, and then give you all some examples about some competitive advantages. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and zip through this little handy dandy PowerPoint presentation that I have designed for your listening and viewing pleasure. So as promised, a little bit about me. Again, Paul Borosky, MBA, owner of Quality Business Plan. If you do need some help writing your food truck business plan, feel free to pick up the phone, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'd be delighted to write the business plan for you if you do want to avoid all the fun and excitement of writing your own business plan. Also, I am a published author. I've got several books on Amazon.com. Check them out. They're focused on business plan writing as well as understanding financial statements. And then finally, I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert for both business and finance. So if you're struggling with your financial projections for your food truck, again, pick up the phone, send me a call, send me a text, send me an email. I'd be delighted to do the financial projections for you. All right. Boring stuff done. Let's talk about your food truck. Let's talk about the competitive advantage section of your food truck business plan. So what is a competitive advantage? A lot of people have the misconception that a competitive advantage is something that you do better than everybody else in the world and then on Mars and Jupiter as well. You just do it better than everybody in the galaxy. And that's not necessarily true. Your competitive advantage is going to be something that you do better than most people. You might have a great way to prepare your foods where it's it's a great model, and you just boom boom boom, and you've got the operations right down, your food prep right down to the second. That could be a competitive advantage. So it's not something that you do amazingly well that nobody else does, but it's something that you do better than most. Next, when you're writing your competitive advantage section for your food truck business plan, make sure to keep it simple. Maybe provide 2 or 3 food competitive advantages that you do better than most, but don't go into a list of 7 or 8. And when you start talking about 7 or 8 competitive advantages, then your competitive advantage section is going to be disproportionately long as the rest of your business plan. And also just keep in mind, when the reader is looking at your business plan, they're probably not going to go past the first 2 or 3 anyway. So just keep it short, keep it simple, and keep it to the point. But also, when you're writing your competitive advantages, give them a little bit of meat on the bone. Give them 2 or 3 sentences as to what your competitive advantage and why it's an advantage. Don't go into 7 or 8 paragraphs on one topic, but 2 or 3 sentences for your 2 or 3 competitive advantages is going to be enough to let the reader know what you do better than most and why it's important. And then finally, the examples. So when you're doing your competitive advantages for your food truck, some of the examples might be that you have an innovative product. I was at a food truck caravan earlier, and a few months ago, there was one place that had a pizza cone. It was a pizza that was shaped like a cone with a bunch of cheese in the middle with pepperoni. It was a phenomenal idea, loved it, and of course nobody else had that kind of a product. Another example would be homemade ice cream. It's a great way to go. Homemade ice cream. You make the ice cream at home or wherever your food commissary is, and you're selling it, or even you're making it right on site. Whatever that's going to be, it's a great way to identify a competitive advantage. Another competitive advantage for a food truck could be a low overhead. Besides the fixed cost, you might have 1 or 2 other people working, or you might be one of the workers yourself. And that could help you with overhead as compared to a restaurant. Another competitive advantage could be your referral network. You might have a strategic network of referrals, whether it be bar owners or food caravan operators, whatever that's going to be. If you know a lot of people in the industry, that's going to help you get your prime locations at different spots. Well, that's going to be a competitive advantage as well. Another competitive advantage for a food truck could be brand recognition. You might be a restaurant owner and you're expanding into the food truck industry, and that happens quite a bit as well. Well, now you've got brand recognition for your restaurant, and so that is going to be a competitive advantage. And then finally, if you have military experience, if you're a woman or if you're a minority, when your food truck is a veteran-owned or women-owned, minority-owned, you are going to have preferential treatment for grants or for some loans or what have you. You're going to have some ins to the funding that other people might not have, and so that could be a competitive advantage as well. All right, so hopefully this little discussion about competitive advantages from the perspective of a food truck was helpful. So let's go ahead and wrap it up, sum it up, and call it a day. So first, in summary, competitive advantages, you don't want to show all your cards when you're doing your competitive advantage section. You want to give them enough information to know that you've got some competitive advantages, but if you've got some really, really, really good competitive advantages, then you don't want to share those. If there's things that if somebody knew how to make your ice cream because you have a great uncle's recipe for making ice cream that nobody else has, that might be a competitive advantage, but you don't want to list the ingredients and steps to make it. I mean, we want to be reasonable here. We want to tell the reader that yes, you've got competition or you've got some competitive advantages, but don't show all your cards on it. Next, use smart art. Use a chart. Using a chart for your competitive advantages is going to keep your information succinct, short, and to the point, which is what you want to do when you're talking about your competitive advantages. And then finally, if you need some help writing your competitive advantage section or your business plan in general, feel free to reach out, give me a call, send me a text, send me an email. Of course, there is a fee for it, but I'd be delighted to write the business plan or that section for you. All right, so finally, if you're looking for a little bit more information on how to write a food truck business plan, check out my link right here. If you do want to purchase a food truck business plan template, it includes a Word document as well as a financial model customized for the food truck industry, check out this link right here. Also, if you do buy my food truck business plan template, I do have a bunch of tutorials that are available to help you customize that food truck template right here. And then finally, if you do want me to write the business plan for you for your food truck, the link is right here. All right, so hopefully this information is helpful. As always, go out, make a little bit of money, and have a great day. Thank you.